Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with Bank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home.
You're just in time for your weekly dose of inspiration, and today's show is all about celebrating Kenyan culture abroad. We shall do that by taking you on a trip to the United States and Germany. My name is Michael Zimanji, and here is what we have in store.
It was a celebration like no other.
The launch of Diaspora Mount Kenya Economic Bloc, DFW chapter, signifies a moment of unity.
Find out how DIMB is staying true to its roots and its impact in the lives of its members.
We have issued money to bereaving families for up to about $3 million.
From Germany, home away from home, at Nairobi restaurant owned by Kenyan chef Gillian Luangu Pirot.
We also want to teach the Germans that we are not just Africa, we are different.
This, as Kenyans in Dallas remember their motherland.
Every diasporian has an aspect of wanting to invest back home.
With that out of the way, let's now go direct to Dallas.
Song, dance, and merrymaking. This is how it went down in Dallas as a welfare group known as Diaspora Mount Kenya Economic Bloc, DIMB, came into being with over 2,000 in attendance. Alex Karundu is one of the founder members of the organization and now the acting chairman.
We are celebrating our heritage, our Kenyanness, our individual cultures as a community, our rendezvous, feeling home, away from home. And that resonates with a lot of people because one of the things that get denied when you leave Kenya or when you leave your motherland and you go to a foreign country is a feeling of wanting to be identified. So once people become comfortable who they are, once they feel they are comfortable by where they have settled, it allows them to penetrate the ecosystems.
This come together began as a men's group known as Lewisville Declaration, chaired by Karundu.
We came together as men who were faced by challenges of social issues when we moved into diaspora. Among them were family challenges, which could range from education, monetary assistance to one another, social issues that find people, including death. And we covered that pretty well. And as time gets by and our children are growing and our families are growing, we have found ourselves now moving towards prosperity.
In time, the organization expanded its membership criteria to include women groups. This is how Kugana Gweka, a Kikuyu women organization, joined. Grace Chege is its vice chair.
We've realized we are in this country. There's so many potentials that we are missing, especially financial empowerment. We have seen some of the needs that are in our community. We have seen other communities, like the Asian community, like even some Ethiopians, some Indians. When they come here, they join hands, and you see they start opening gas stations. And they started open for one today, tomorrow they open for another one. And Asians, they have malls whereby they are marketing their product. And we became challenged, and we are like, as a community, we always go somewhere to lend for even a hall for our meetings. We decided to call ourselves and say, what can we do as a Mount Kenya community? What can we do to empower ourselves? which financial chances do we have?
When we came together, when we started registration, we were the first year we had about 150 men. The second year we moved to about 250. It's been incremental. Right now, within the Dallas metro, that just people living in the northern Texas, we're about 800 men. And when the success of our program started hitting the communities, women found an easier way to roll out their program because all they needed was to copy-paste what we were doing. And they came in numbers. Women are even more better. They know how to look for one another. So as we speak right now, the Kuganagweka group, which is the women part, has over 1,000 members. So combined, we represent membership alone over 2,000 people from Mount Kenya region who live in the northern part of Texas.
During the launch of DIMB, the chairperson of Kuganagweka, Beatrice Maina, said the launch marked the beginning of a new chapter in the economic and social trajectory of the Mount Kenya Diaspora members.
The launch of Diaspora Mount Kenya Economic Bloc, DFW chapter, signifies a moment of unity where members of Kuganagweka can unite and collaborate with members of Louisville Declaration to venture into new economic and social fronts that empowers them as a community collectively. This launch represents an opportunity to leverage the collective strength and expertise of our diaspora community in propelling the economic growth and prosperity of our people, and more so, our future generation.
Yes, the annual event is all about economic empowerment, as evidenced by the numerous exhibitors present.
We have a lot of people who are in-house yesterday showing their showcases of their businesses. That is a marketplace. With 2,000 people under one hall, whatever you are selling, whether you're from Kenya or you're from here, these are your people. So we earn both ways, both economics and both cultural, and more important, the sense of belonging. We had about 10 companies, AMG, Optiven, there are many of them. And they came in to persuade us, to show us the investment frontiers in Kenya. We had others, including IT. We had others that are financial, So we had a variety of investors who came to showcase their product. And the feedback was amazing. People signed up, people are excited. And truly, if they were to be called upon, it was a never missing meeting to be in.
Since coming together, DIMB will benefit from the legacy and milestones of the previous initiatives.
We have issued money to the bereaving families for up to about $3 million. Our contribution, or what we call the occurrences, whatever we pay back after we issue money, is so little because we are using the power of numbers. So the replenishment is at like even less than $20. And every bereaving family get about between, depending who have passed on, get 9,000 currently. And if it's one of us, get 25,000 from that family. If it's your parent, there's a money I put it. So there's quite a bit of success stories. But besides the stories of death, we have programs that are allowing people who have gone through some challenges. Like if you've been going through some ailment, or a family member is going through an ailment that has compelled them not to go to work, we have visitations, we have money kept aside, programs that allow those people to get treatment and get back to their footing and go back to work without debt. Other programs include people who are out of school, children who come from Kenya and they have not been able to climatize with jobs and all that kind of stuff. We are now moving towards creating a trust that will be capital intensive within the corporate American. We have what we call CSRs in this country. There's money out there that is quite available for groups like this one to harvest in and help our people to go through, school programs and all that kind of stuff.
An important inclusion given the significant roles Kenyans abroad play when it comes to remittance inflows. Last year, Kenyans abroad sent home well over $4 billion, with the bulk of it emanating from the United States.
We are very happy that finally we have a government that is accessible. There's a bit of difference from those of us that have been here for a long time, feel the difference now that we can call somebody and somebody actually picks up your call. As the first generation become older in the diaspora, our children may not have heritage competitiveness to send money to Kenya. Invest in social programs that allow our children to feel as part of the Kenyan society. Much as we, the parents, must show them the heritage and culture, the governments must be deliberate to ensure that they feel the impact. Issues of dual citizenship, ID registration, passport registration, all those things need to come with ease. At the comfort of your house or from your phone call, your child can have a real Kenyan citizenship and they feel the benefit of it. That way, when we are not there, they can still call Kenya home. At least now we feel the government doing something. Perhaps in the next 2 or 3 years, we want to see real impact. Consular issues. We have quite a number of big population of Kenyans in diaspora here in Texas. It's been a long due. We need to have a consular or consulate here in Dallas as soon as possible. This is not only going to allow our effectiveness discussion with the government, but it's also going to increase the capacity of money coming home and many other benefits that comes with that office.
Karundu did, however, have much praise for the role being played by Chams Media in encouraging investments.
For the longest, diaspora had been forgotten. But with now Chams Media, Chams Effect has been charming our communities. The Cham Effect, diaspora has become a name of every Kenyan home. The other side, the benefits of airing what you air in Kenya to us has also contributed a lot of people desiring to go back home now. For the longest, those of us that have been lived here for a long time, they left Kenya maybe in status they would not have desired. But what has happened with your media, it has shown a country that is also quickly developing and catching up the rest of the world. It has a viral effect on confidence of diaspora going back home and investing back in Kenya.
Karundu hopes to see more expansion in the coming year as DIMB targets to impact more lives positively through such events and activities. And if the first 5 years is anything to go by, the sky is the limit.
Quite inspiring there from the Kenyans in Dallas. Truly, you can achieve a lot through unity and celebrating Kenyan culture. Time for us to go on a break, but when we return,
we also want to teach the Germans that we are not just Africa, we are different.
More on celebrating Kenyan culture, but this time through food in Germany. Also ahead,
every diasporian has an aspect of wanting to invest back home.
How Kenyans in Dallas are investing back home.
Bamba Nyumba na AMG. Win a 3-bedroom house in Nanyuki sitting on a 1/4 acre or a 30K weekly shopping voucher or a monthly plot with Bamba Nyumba na AMG promotion. For every 100K you spend buying or paying for your plot, you earn 1 entry to the draw. The more you invest, the more entries you get. Call 0796 888 555 today. Bamba Nyumba na AMG. Usiwachwe nyuma.
Looking for a home investment in a serene neighborhood? Centum Real Estate presents Cascadia Apartments, located within the thriving Two Rivers development in Nairobi. At Cascadia, you are only a few minutes walk to our 4DX cinema, retail shopping, coffee venues and restaurants. Your kids get to enjoy play areas at our theme parks. Deposit 970,000 shillings, pay balance in flexible installments or mortgage financed. Talk to us today on 0742 342 722.
You're watching Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with Corp Bank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home.
Welcome back to the show. Today's show is all about celebrating Kenyan culture while abroad. In the first part, we took you to Dallas, Texas, where we saw an association of Kenyans coming together to remember their motherland. And right now, we go all the way to Germany, where Kenyan-born chef is running an amazing Kenyan restaurant with your favorite delicacy.
In Eschborn, Germany, some 9,000 kilometers from Kenya's capital, lies a well-kept secret by the name Nairobi Restaurant and Grill. Started by Kenyan-born Gillian Lwangu Piroth, Nairobi Restaurant and Grill is the go-to place for everything Kenyan when it comes to matters cuisine.
Kashata, vitumbua and kadhalika, yes. We also want to teach the Germans that we are not just Africa, we are different. We come in many colorful cultures and different foods, different dishes. Because some used to assume, I'm going to eat African food, and you're like, which part of Africa? I don't know, it was just African food, you know? So for me, I'm making it specifically Kenyan. I don't call it African restaurant. I'm making it specifically Kenyan restaurant so that they know it's Kenyan food. Nairobi restaurant is now 3 months old, but I've been doing cooking classes, Kenyan cooking classes for almost 3 years now. I teach people how to cook, and I have to say that I'm the first German cooking school. Yeah, the rest came later. So 3 years ago, I started Kenyan cooking classes, and I also cook. I also have a cooperation with one of the biggest cooking schools in Frankfurt.
Okay.
So I always cook with them as an African consultant, like once a month. And then here in my kitchen, I always have also cooking classes for people who have birthdays or they just want to come and have fun. Yeah, and I also do team events. Like I've been booked by different companies for team events at least once a month and stuff like that. And then I also cater for events catering, going outside to weddings, or team events when they wanted to be outside. And then at the moment now our nyama choma season has kicked off. And now it's like we get invited to go to people's homes in their gardens.
Now, you will be surprised to learn that this isn't Jill's main hustle. You see, her background is in event management. She is currently employed at one of Frankfurt's top international banks.
So from Mondays to Fridays, I work at the bank. And then in the evenings and weekends, I'm here. I organize seminars. But my main thing is administrative assistant. I'm an administrative assistant. I cater for all administrative stuff, contracts, procurement, everything, HR. Yes.
Yeah.
But it combines very well with events. Then I'm able also to organize my own events. I first came as au pair. Many Germans, they start their lives as au pair. You come here, you go to a family, you stay with this family like for 1 year. You help take care of their children, do a bit of housework. It depends on the family you're going to. In my case, I was just mainly there for the kids, teaching them English, picking them up from school, bringing them home, and also a bit of cooking. But cooking, it's like I used to learn a lot from my au pair family, the German, because I can also cook German food very well. Yeah.
Seems it's your passion.
It is my passion, yes. Yeah, so that's how I started. I came then when I got here after I finished 1 year au pair, because the program is made in such a manner you also have to learn German within that 1 year. And while you're learning German, that's when I decided after learning German, I got into a college in a place called Freiburg. It's in the southern part of Germany. And I did international correspondence. Wow. That's how the correspondence communications comes in. And then after I finished that, I jumped into events management. Welcome to Nairobi. Welcome to Nairobi.
That is how the Uasin Gishu native found her way into the restaurant business. But the question is, why did she choose to specialize in Kenyan cuisine?
It's very hard for us to get foods from home or import foods from home. Because if I look at the West Africans, they have some kind of treaty. They import their foods very easily. These people eat like they're at home. But for us Kenyans, it's difficult. When you import something from Kenya, it's challenging to face the customs and everything. So for me, it was very important to teach the Germans what our foods are all about, so that they can understand and accept. And once they accept, it will motivate them to let us import easily.
Speaking of importing, Jill says she sources most of her ingredients from Kenya.
I go to Kenya once or twice a year. I get my spices from home. But the other things like nyama choma and stuff, I get help from the Turkish. The Turkish community are working very well with me. And then
I saw sukuma wiki.
Yeah, sukuma wiki also get it from the Turkish. Yeah, some of them they plant them here, and they always just inform me, Jill, we are delivering. We have sukuma wiki this week. Come and pick up.
According to Jill, Nairobi restaurant has received a warm reception from both locals and foreigners.
The African community, they come here a lot. Monthly basis, I always organize the different tribes. Like the last one we had was Swahili night.
We like this place. We have been here last Saturday before, and we heard of it and read of it in the newspaper that it opens. And so the first thinking was, we want to go here. My thinking was, I want to go here with my wife and later maybe with my cousin.
So have you tasted the African food here? Yes?
Yeah. I was eating the stomachs of a chicken. And I like it very much. I liked it. No, hearts were out. Because, so I took the stomachs.
Yeah, we call in Kenya matumbo.
Matumbo.
Yes.
Hii hoteli inapatikana chai masala.
Unapenda chai masala?
Napenda chai masala.
Takes you home.
Harufu inanukia pia nzuri, mandazi, kuna mahamri, kuna chakula nyingi pia anapika ambapo watu kutoka continent ya Afrika wote wanakuja hapa hivi kwa sababu ya hii chakula. Kama kuna ugali, kuna sukuma, kuna matumbo.
This positivity is what keeps the Moi Girls alumna going. From her experience so far, she has nothing but praise for her decision to dare here.
Before coming to Germany, my dream was to open up a restaurant in Kenya, in Eldoret, because that's where I lived most of my life. But then I got this opening to come to Germany, and I closed it off for some time, until 3 years ago. Yeah, so it found me here, so I'm just picking up. Actually, business, you can do it anywhere.
This is Jill's mantra. And as we conclude, her parting shot is, start.
Always follow your dreams and don't listen to people. If you feel you want to do something, try it out. Don't be scared, because in everything you do, there's a risk. I think it's about the mindset. Yeah, it's the mindset and the kind of discipline you have. With your discipline and your mindset, you can be anywhere.
Quite a delicious story there from Germany. Time now for us to have our back home segment, and today it's all about how Kenyans in Dallas are remembering their motherland and investing back home. Take a look.
Back home, powered by Cooperative Bank.
My name is Alex Karundu. I'm the current chair of Louisville Declaration, which is transiting to Diaspora Mount Kenya Economic Bloc of this part of the US. Every diasporian has an aspect of wanting to invest back home. But as an organization, we have accelerated investment back home. And I want to announce how much or what has been done right now. But some of our programs have land already purchased in Kenya, land that's already purchased in this country. We are targeting maybe by the end of next year, as we now become fully registered under the Mount Kenya Economic Bloc. We want to have our own social halls in this country. We have started looking for areas where we could settle for retirement back in Kenya, back in here. All this is going to be, beside the skills that will be harnessed and taken back home, it also allowing us to have a higher remittance. And this is an issue that I'm sure the State Department of Diaspora will be very interested to see. Our future plan, number one, where there are numbers, there is also political weight. We want to be at the table of policy decision making, not only in this country, but also in our country. Because as much as we are growing here, we also want to transfer that skill knowledge, that expertise back to Kenya. So when you're landing in Kenya, you are not just going to allow mediocre, because this country has trained us quite an efficient system. We know some of the things that we're still fighting back in Kenya about social ills that befall our motherland, including things like corruption. We have lived in a country where you live genuinely by what you work for. And these are some of the skills and knowledge that we want to take home. If we're allowed to participate in the political discourse, it doesn't have to be political per se, but we influence societies as we settle back where we are. So those are some of our programs. But more importantly, we also want to create within the Mount Kenya block an area where our diaspora children, whenever they go home, they can understand their culture. Where did they come from? So there's quite an intensive discussion between county government and some of our people. There's a lot of county influence within our discussion. Some of our governors are being involved. How can we empower programs within the county levels, within the diaspora policies? And for example, in Nyeri County, the governor has actually elected or appointed a diaspora honorary governor within the United States. And this person has been quite a bit about creating program of students in Nyeri, doing some student programs that are bringing students from Nyeri to United States College. And these are very exciting time for us to involve ourselves and our children back home.
Cooperative Bank, we are you.
Quite inspiring there, and congratulations to the Kenyans in Dallas for all the hard work they are doing. With that, we have come to the end of the show today. Many thanks to all our guests and to you for choosing to tune in to Charms Media. Till next time, bye-bye.
Daring Abroad, brought to you in partnership with CoopBank Diaspora Banking. Banking just like home.